Here's what I know to be true. The wealthiest people are not employed by other people, and they are not saving money for the future. The wealthy people are investing their money and creating velocity with their money by investing it in multiple sources that create cash flow and tax advantage for them. Welcome to Kim Daly TV. My name is Kim Daly, and I am one of America's top franchise consultants. I'm so glad that you've landed here on my YouTube channel. My job is to educate, motivate, and inspire your dreams of business ownership by helping you to understand how you can leverage the proven systems of franchise businesses. So back to the topic of the wealthiest people and what they know. So as kids, we grow up to learn that we need to go to college and then find a job and trade our time for money. The money that you earn, you're going to save in your 401k. And eventually at some point in your life, you're going to stop working and quote, retire. And then you're going to withdraw that money from your 401k to live off of it. But have you ever met somebody who's truly, truly wealthy? I mean, a net worth of 20 million or 30 million or $50 million or more? If you haven't, I'm going to tell you that I have. And when I started talking to people who were truly, truly wealthy, it was very eye-opening. Now, I've always been self-employed. I've started my first business when I was 25, and I've been self-employed now for 27 years. So you can figure out how old I am. So I've always been paving my own way. But up until a few years ago, even I was putting money into a self-employed pension plan. But when I started meeting some truly wealthy people, I saw that they play a different game, and it really upped my game. And not only changed my life, but it changed my belief in what I'm offering you here at Kim Daly TV and in franchising, because business ownership is the way to true financial freedom. But it also changed my life because it changed how I coach all of my candidates on what they do with the cash flow from their business. So after 4 years of thinking like truly wealthy people, I was able to retire myself, meaning I have enough cash flow coming in from businesses and passive investments that I'm invested in that I no longer have to work. So I choose to work because I love what I do, and I'm young. Like, I don't really want to retire. I actually never see myself fully retiring. And maybe you don't either, or maybe you do. I'm not here to discuss retirement, but what I want to help you see is that the truly wealthy people are not living off of savings in the future, taking money out of this retirement plan, paying taxes on that money at the future tax rate. Because what do we know about taxes? They're always going up. So it's really kind of crazy that we all fall into this paradigm of college, job, work for somebody else, trade our time for money, put that money in a retirement plan that we can't touch until set age. And then when we withdraw it, we're paying taxes at the then tax rate versus waking up every day fully in control of your own financial future because you're a business owner, taking the profits from your business and deploying them into other cash flowing assets, whether that be real estate through syndication or actual real estate like owning short-term rentals or long-term rentals. There are many different ways that you can invest money. Some of my money is invested in businesses. So I have business cash flowing returns, which are always going to be the highest returns, especially if you're active in the business. And then I have passive investments in syndication, right? Where I just put my money in with other people who know how to build that real estate asset, and I collect the dividend, the monthly or quarterly dividend from that. So I have a diversified portfolio, and I've created this portfolio by siphoning the money I had in my self-employed pension plan, yes, taking a tax hit on it, but because what I saw was that I could make more money by even taking the tax hit, but by getting that money out and getting it into circulation and I had more control of it. Look, I retired myself after 4 years. So if you've landed on my YouTube channel because you're in career transition or you're trying to figure out if franchising is for you, this conversation is probably part 2. But the first thing is you've got to be bought in that the number one way to build wealth is to own a business. Like 99% of millionaires own their own business. So why are you or other people trading their time for money by working for somebody else? Maybe that helped you get to where you are today. But if you're at a place where you're questioning, what am I doing? I got to get out of this rat race. I got to break free from this glass ceiling. I need more control. I'm tired of the instability. I'm tired of answering to people that I don't even respect. Like, I hear it all, right? For the first 18 years as a franchise consultant, I worked exclusively with people in career transition. So I've heard all the horror stories of people just, giving up all of their family time, thinking that this company would be loyal to them. But at the end of the day, when the bottom line wasn't met, there was no loyalty except to their bottom line. And they let you go. They gave you a severance package. Woohoo! Right? But they let you go. And so people have this wake-up call when that happens. But the reality is it could happen to anybody when you work for somebody else because you ultimately don't have control. And if you're watching this video and that's you, put it in the comments. Share the horror story of what you've been through because somebody out there watching may be worried about it, but may not have gone through that yet. But I think a lot of people who find themselves at a fork in the road, that's typically when they start thinking of what else is out there and maybe start thinking about a franchise and land on my YouTube channel. So please, join the community that I've built here over 22 years and share what you've gone through. The reason I'm so passionate about what I do in franchising is because franchising completely changed my life. Like, I'm a nutritional biochemist. That was my degree with a minor in sports nutrition and a certification in personal training. I was on my way to medical school thinking I was going to work with professional athletes. When I answered a classified ad in the newspaper for a franchise consulting company, not the one I'm a part of today, but it gave me access to this whole world of business ownership through franchising. Of course, I did what everybody did once I got a taste of business ownership. I went out and became an entrepreneur. I did that for 5 years until I realized that's the hardest way to do this. And I came back to my franchising roots and I found FranChoice, the company that I've been amazingly blessed to be a part of for the last 22 years. And, and here I am today. Why? Because in franchising, you get to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You get to be surrounded by a network of people and together you build a brand. Together you overcome the challenges of a business. Recessions, pandemics, anything, competition, whatever it is that changes your business model, because life will change your business model. And that's not a scary thing. It's just a fact of life. And really, as business owners, if we're not adaptable and we're not looking to be on the cutting edge of that change, we're dying because you're either moving forward or you're moving backward. You can't be standing still. So in the franchise where you get to come together, not just with a corporate office, but with all of the other franchisees that live the same life as you have this collective power to share. And there's a belief in this system, right? And so sometimes when you are lacking the belief because your business is struggling or harder than you thought it was going to be, you're able to come into the group, the collective consciousness of the franchise, and borrow the belief of other people. And really, like when we say that franchising is safer, that's why it's safer, right? You still have to wake up and show up for your dreams and perform and execute and do all the things you would have to do if you were an entrepreneur. But you're not out there on your own. You're not fumbling around in the dark trying to figure out what you're doing wrong. You have support people, trainers, coaches to help you through, but then you also have all of the other franchisees. So the idea that you are in business for yourself but not by yourself is a very fundamental idea to franchising, and it's absolutely what makes this a safer route to own a business in and can potentially lead you to greater success, along with the idea that no matter what you're doing in this wealth building conversation, it's never going to be about one thing. Like these people that have 20, 30, $50 million networks, they don't just typically own one business. They own multiple businesses or multiple cash flowing assets. Well, if you go out there and you become a real estate investor, you're not just going to own one property. It's about how are you going to leverage your time across multiple properties. Well, if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to figure out, let's say that you have a service-based business where you're deploying a truck with two team, like an HVAC company, and you have two techs in one truck. That one truck isn't going to make you millions of dollars because one truck with two techs, there's a time constraint in the day. But it's about how do you leverage your time across 10 trucks with 20 techs, right? 2 per truck. Well, in a franchise, the exact same thing is going to be true. The wealth is going to be created through scale. But the idea is that in the franchise, the scale is inherent in the model. So when people come to me and they say, I want to tiptoe in, I want to buy one. Listen, you can do whatever makes you feel great, but that's not really where franchising wins. It's not really why you want to be a franchisepreneur. You want to be a franchisepreneur because the wealth is inherent in the model. The scale is inherent in the model. Excuse me. The wealth too, but the scale. So the idea is that the systems and the processes are there for you to come in as the CEO who works on the business rather than the entrepreneur who works in the business. So if you're working on it, hiring people to do the hands-on work, then that gives you more time freedom to think about the strategy for growth. Now, if you come in properly capitalized for that growth, and the money factor is not the limitation to the growth, you can scale in a short amount of time. So you can take the entrepreneur who has a great idea and wants to start a business, and that entrepreneur may spend 3 to 5 years just perfecting their model. Well, in that same 3 to 5 years, the franchisepreneur can get 3 to 5 locations up and operating. Okay, well, if wealth is created through scale, which one's getting wealthier faster? The franchisepreneur, right? Because the multiplication is there in a shorter amount of time. So the wealthy people know this. How did they learn it? They had a mentor. So you might not have known it now, but you're becoming aware because something has happened in your life that you started Googling franchising and you found my YouTube channel. And so I'm so happy to meet you. I've been over here in my world of franchising for 22 years. I've been self-employed or a business owner for 26, 27 years. So I have a lot of experience. I want to be your mentor. That's really what a good franchise consultant is. But I don't just want to match opportunity to you. That's like almost an insult to all that I can do for you. Like finding the right franchisors that fit your goals, that align with your personality, has a business model that aligns to the skills that you want to bring to the business and the time commitment that you want to bring to the business. Sure, all of that is important. But the success equation is 20% strategy, that franchise system you're paying for, and 80% mindset. If it wasn't, and everybody in a franchise is buying the same strategy, everybody would be successful, but they're not. Why? Because of their mindset. How we think, how we talk, and how we act has a much greater impact on the success of our franchise, on the success of our life, than any strategy that we can apply. But even how you apply the strategy is going to be different when you come from the correct mindset. So going back to the value that I'm going to bring to you, if you allow me to be your franchise consultant and your mentor, is the mindset coach. Because I spent 8 years in the average pack of my franchise. And then in my 9th year of business, I made history. I changed everything, not just for myself, but for my industry. I made over 350% more money in my 9th year than I did in my 8th year or any year before that. So listen, my franchise system was the same. It's been the same for 22 years. So from 2010 to 2011, we were still in a recession. Nothing outside of me changed, and yet everything changed, including history in my industry, because of me. This is my story. And this is what I want to share with you. This is what makes me qualified to be your mindset coach. Because what changed happened inside. Success is always an inside job. If you're a professional athlete, if you want to be a great student, if you want to excel in your career, it happens from within. Have you ever watched somebody who seemed to be like in the flow, like a professional athlete, like Tom Brady? I'm a New England girl, right? So let's pick on my GOAT, Tom Brady. Well, why can he throw that pass, with split seconds left on the clock and get it in the zone every single time? Why? Well, because he's so practiced in his strategy, but more importantly, in his mindset. He doesn't waver in his belief about who he is and what he can do. That's a head game. But so many business owners out there, they waver, right? And the day that you sign your franchise agreement, you're going to be on a high. You're going to be excited. You're going to be ready to take on the world because you just overcame yourself in the biggest way to push through all your limiting beliefs and become a business owner. But then what happens after you start running your business and you're a few months in or even a few weeks in and things start to not go exactly as you thought they were going to go? What happens is you start wavering in your mindset. You start wavering in your belief, not just to you, everybody. It happens to everybody. If you're not confident in who you really are and the power that you have within you to change your reality at any minute, then you doubt. And you're limited by that doubt. You have to think of it like a boat in a river. So when you are in your flow, when Tom Brady is in the zone and he can make that pass every time, then his boat is moving with the current of life. When you introduce self-doubt, you now turned your boat around and you're going up against the flow of life. The flow of life is for your goodness. The flow of life is for you to be successful. It's we, in our humanness, who turn our boats around, who resist instead of allow. So if I'm anything, I'm going to be the mindset coach, and I'm going to teach you how to think like a winner. And I believe that that's what makes me one of America's top franchise consultants. It most certainly is how I made history in my franchise. So if you are sitting on the sideline and you are tired of the instability in that corporate job, the glass ceiling that you gotta break through, or getting up every day and feeling like you're a hamster in a wheel, and no matter how hard you work, you just can't get ahead, there's still no extra money to pay for college or take a $20,000 vacation. That's extravagant, but you never know, right? Whatever it is you're dreaming of, buying that lake house or that beach house. These are all the stories that I hear every single day from people just like you that come to me. So if this is you, you got to reach out to me. I want to be your mentor. I'm not going to talk you into franchising, but I am going to talk you through it. I am going to share more of how franchising has changed my life and how I absolutely know if you embrace the right franchise system for your skills, your talents, your goals, that you too can have the life that right now you think it's only in your imagination. I can help you bring that to life. I want to be your daily coach. So thank you for finding my YouTube channel. Watch another video if you need to. But if this video alone has inspired you, please take the time right now to find me, because the universe loves speed. When you act quickly, you are in your inspired action. The minute that you slow yourself down, you start to bring in your intellectual mind. And now the fear and the doubt creep in. This is where people find themselves in analysis paralysis. This is where I talked about it, Kim, but I never could do it. You need me, and I need you, because this is what I was born to do. And I can't wait to meet you. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end, and I hope to see you in the next one. God bless you.